Ladies and gentlemen, as you guys know, on this channel, I like to talk about the story of Call of Duty, and my most viewed video of all time on the channel is the full story of Alex Mason. It has over 5 million views, and today I wanted to do something similar, but a little bit different, because as you guys know, with Season 6, Alex Mason was added back into the Black Ops universe, into multiplayer, and everything like that. And with it, they gave us a character bio on Alex Mason, which gives us a timeline. Now, in all of these timelines for all of the characters in Black Ops Cold War, there is redacted information that they have removed from their bios. In a lot of cases, like with Adler or even Frank Woods, we don't know what that redacted information actually is. However, with Alex Mason, we know all of the redacted information. So what we are going to do in this video isn't going to be the same depth with the full story of Alex Mason, but rather putting together his timeline and filling in those redacted pieces from his bio. So this isn't necessarily the full story, but I guess you could call this the new story of Alex Mason. So with the very basics with Alex Mason, looking at his bio, we know he's American, born on June the 3rd, 1933. His place of birth is redacted. However, we know that his place of birth is Alaska, and he's a part of the USMC, the CIA, SAD, and SOG division, and we're of course going to dive more into that. As far as Mason's timeline goes, it begins in 1951 when he enlists in the USMC. 1 year later, he is selected for the 2nd Marine Division Recon and dispatched to Korea. 6 years later, he is recruited into the CIA's Special Activities Division. This is when the Black Ops portion of the story starts to pick up in 1961, when he is selected for the CIA squad Operation 40 to infiltrate Cuba as a part of Operation Zapata. And of course, this is when the story of Black Ops 1 begins. Woods and Mason are in Cuba, and their job is to assassinate Fidel Castro. And everything seemingly is going according to plan.
Ready to make history?
But as it turns out, that's actually not what was happening, as the person you assassinate is actually a body double, and you did not complete the mission. However, upon trying to escape the compound, once again, things do not go according to plan. Their escape plan is almost executed perfectly until the runway is blocked, and Alex Mason, being a selfless soldier that he is, gets off the airplane, destroys what's in the runway, but unfortunately, by the very end, gets captured.
Dead. We killed you. No. You killed a double. You think we didn't know of your plan?
We always know.
Do with him what you wish, General. He's my gift to you, in honor of our new relationship. Just make sure that he suffers.
He will know suffering beyond his darkest fears. I have plans for you, American.
Now, when we dive back into the bio and the timeline, you can see that some time has passed. In 61, that's when they went into Cuba, but the next thing we see is in the year 1963. Both of these redacted paragraphs, we know exactly what happened. The first redacted paragraph that we see there is in the time period that takes place between when he gets captured and the year 1963. During this time, he is being brainwashed well in Vorkuta prison. This is essentially the main premise of the Black Ops 1 storyline. The second paragraph that we see there, which takes place in 1963, actually refers to the mission where you escape from Vorkuta. It takes place on October 6, 1963, and well, we all know how this goes.
Mason, every journey begins with a single step.
This is step one! Security! Now, we take Vorkuta! What is step two?
And by the end of the mission, Alex Mason ends up escaping the prison, but not quite alongside his buddy, Viktor Reznov.
Jump, Mason, jump! Go, Mason, go!
Your turn! Come on! Step 8, Reznov! Freedom!
For you, Mason! Not for me!
Reznov!
Now, after this in the bio, we see that he returns to the US after his escape from imprisonment in Vorkuta, Russia. However, once again, we have a redacted paragraph, but again, we know exactly what this is. Now, again, we're not going to go into the crazy depth that we have in previous videos, but as far as what happens here is Mason gets back to the US and meets his handler, Jason Hudson. At this time, he then goes to the Pentagon where he meets with JFK. JFK tells him about what happened in Vorkuta and tells him that he's going to be working with the CIA and going on another mission. Now, aside from going to the Pentagon being why it's redacted, one thing a lot of people don't know is once you get sent on this mission, after this, it's actually 5 days after this mission that JFK gets assassinated in real life. It's just a really cool thing that they built into the timeline of the Black Ops lore that a lot of people don't know about. So 1968 is when the bulk of the missions in the game Black Ops 1 actually take place. And as you can see here, they say, joins the Studies and Observation Group in Khe Sanh, Vietnam with Frank Woods and Jason Hudson. After which we have 2 redacted paragraphs. And what these are referring to is, first of all, the raid on Rebirth Island. This is the mission in Black Ops 1 where we find out that indeed Alex Mason is the defector. And when he kind of loses his mind, he takes things a little bit too far.
My name is Victor Radnoff, and I will have my revenge! Mason, no! I'm fine. Check Steiner. He's dead. What about Reznov, the defector? We need to find him.
We won't. He was never here. I didn't believe it till I saw it with my own eyes. What did they do to you in Vorkuta, Mason?
Steiner dead. Mason's our only link to the numbers broadcasts.
We need to bring him back.
And that is the part that the second redacted paragraph refers to, when they bring back Mason to the CIA safe house and then try to deprogram his brainwashing to figure out what the numbers sequence means and where it leads to. And the answer to that is once again in the bio, where it leads to is the Rusalka, which is the end of the first Black Ops 1 game, where Alex Mason goes in and ends up taking out Lev Kravchenko. So that pretty much brings us to the end of the bio. However, there is one more redacted paragraph in the year 1976, and it's interesting because I feel like a lot of people probably don't know about this part of Alex Mason's story. There's actually 2 things that this could refer to. The first of which is something called Operation Cherubitas. We've talked about this on the channel before, but essentially after the events of Black Ops 1, the CIA doesn't know whether or not they can trust Frank Woods and Alex Mason and even Jason Hudson. The CIA puts a hit out on them and turns to someone by the name of Jonathan Blank, which the rumor is that this is actually Captain John Price. Now, it's never been confirmed that that is the case, but that is the rumor. And of course, as we know of this, they were never assassinated as they've been in future Black Ops games. Now, the second thing is even more interesting in my opinion, because in the year 1976 is actually when the game Black Ops Declassified happened, which was a Black Ops game that came out for the PlayStation Vita. Now, in this mission, Alex Mason goes to East Berlin where he assassinates someone by the name of Mikhail Belov. And as far as this goes, we never knew whether or not Black Ops Declassified was actually canon within the Black Ops universe, but this could actually confirm it, which is very, very interesting. Now, from there on out, we have the rest of the story of Alex Mason, which if you want to check the full thing out, click the link down in the description. It'll be the full story of Alex Mason. But of course, from here, we also know in Black Ops Cold War, he is a part of the team. And on top of that, later on in the story, which we see in Season 6, is that Alex Mason comes through and actually does the deprogramming on Adler, who is brainwashed within the Black Ops Cold War story. But from his bio, this pretty much sums up all of the new bits of his story, pieces together the entire backstory of Alex Mason. And as per usual, if you enjoyed the video, it's always appreciated if you hit that like button. Let me know what you think of the video down in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, like these story videos, want to stay up to date on them, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but we're making this too